Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review over in the Raggy's Taproom. Yes, it's near the end of April, but yes, it's absolutely freezing still. It's the weather. I'm in full winter gear, which is balmy. So tonight I'm reviewing from Bridbrewer and Taproom. It's their Blueberry Porter, 4.6% ABV, brewed in Bridlington on the 3rd of October 2022. It says on the back, Blueberry Porter, pronounced blueberry taste. 4.6% ABV. Let's give it a punt. The good fellow himself, Stuart, the Bridbrewer, is coming to Nottingham to the Star Inn. So I'm going to have a word with my drinking part friends and meet up and have a drink with him on the night. Even if the wife has to, even if we have to get the bus back. One of them things. So, lovely black pour on there. Touch of head, dissipated already. Blueberries like that though. I do find that blueberry is the one taste that one, it's never easy to brew. And two, the head does dissipate quickly. So there we go. So chocolatey on this. Chocolatey coffee. There's a hint of blueberry on there. Oh, let's dive in. It's been a long day. I've done over 12 hours today. Just shy of 13. And it's been a long day. I'm happy. I'm good. And it's that thing, to push on. They say that, working's not a good thing. You need to relax and that. But when work invigorates you, it gives you the positivity. I'm a gardener. So if I'm doing gardening and doing good gardening, not just bloody mowing, but doing great gardening. Like tonight, I've put in tonight a new herbaceous border all around a vegetable garden that I set up at the next door neighbours at Kelham, at Newark, one of my workplaces. And you can see the elation in the people who live there. And I'm fast at what I do. I don't fuck about, I never have done. I'm fast at what I do. I'm good at what I do. I do it properly. And some people on the internet may think, oh, he's a bit big-headed. I'm not big-headed. I'm just telling you the absolute truth. I am a lifelong gardener. Taught by the best and still do it as good as I can, but with modern, upgrades. Yeah. I don't rake a bank of leaves with a rake when you can use a blower. There's ways of doing things that make it easier. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers all. Certainly getting the blueberry in the taste now. Not so much on the aroma, to be fair, but certainly in the taste. The blueberries coming through, and it's battling the other elements that I said. I'm really pleased. I keep an eye on breweries, not every brewery, because Facebook is such an absolute pain in the backside. I don't know if anybody uses Facebook these days. Do you not think it's the worst platform ever? I literally follow on my Raggy's Beer Reviews or Raggy's Beer Channel, whatever you call it, Beer Review Channel, yeah, whatever. I literally only follow beer stuff because that's what I'm interested in. And I get random bloody stuff like football, MMA, and it's like, I don't care for this. Stop putting it on my feed. And then I get frustrated and I come off and I don't go back on again. But anyway, what I was getting to as part of this thing, rattling away as I usually do anyway. The Bridbrewer, in times when the brewery industry is struggling, they are struggling, and he posted the other day that the tap room was full of people and he had helpers in, and that to me is amazing. And summer's coming up, and I absolutely hope, it was a tough move in COVID to open up a tap room in a resort that was closed down because of blooming COVID. And yet, people from around the country have gone holiday in there since. Liam Rusco, good friend of mine, told me about Bridbrewer and Taproom, although I didn't remember until I come back, and I'd already been to the brewer. But it's nice to hear good stories. Everybody deserves good. You know, none of us deserve, unless you are a very, very bad person. We all deserve a bit of good in our life, and if this is the year where Bridbrewer and Taproom, the tap room absolutely storms it. You know, um, um, if I'm going to Bridlington, then there's a few places on the list. Obviously, there's a Weatherspoons for cheap food and obviously cheap beer. But Bridbrewer and Tap Room, and then there's a couple of other places that weren't open when I went anyway. That I would absolutely make a must dive to. People these days want decent beer. We don't want crap. We want good beer, and that's. And I've discovered this myself. Especially the last year, since we started going out with friends and going to Beeston, to the Star Inn in Beeston of all things, and it's been a revelation. And yeah, the beer review channel has helped me find myself in beer, and the cask beer reviews are very much a massive part of the channel now, to promote good beer in pubs and to promote the pubs as well. Linked to them all. They may or may not ever bother, acknowledging that. That's up to them. I've done my bit. It's up to them if they go any further. Ooh. So it's tasting divine. What I'm liking about Bridbrewer and Taproom, if anybody's watching this and you're thinking of going to that area of the world, Bridlington, Filey, Scarborough, get yourselves over to here. If you can, have a beer in the tap room itself, because obviously cask is king, and bottles are great, but cask is where it's at. And I'll tell you now, when you drink the stuff on cask, you'll be like, whoa. And I mean, I went in with Andy, my mate from the Happy Drinkers, and the first beer was, I think it was Hoppy and Bread, and it was like, bloody hell, this is nice, and you're always a little bit nervous. Obviously, as a beer reviewer and as a fan of beer, I support breweries. I don't slag breweries off just to make myself something that I'm not. I'm a nice person, nice people. Reciprocation is something that is not to be undervalued in this day and age. But obviously, there's a way of saying something, but saying it in a nice way without being um, you know. There's a word, and I can't think of the word. Politely, at least. I've got to be honest. That is hitting home massively. It's been an absolutely long day. Um, and I'm looking to chill now. Go upstairs, go and sit in the front room, get my youngest son, lay on the settee. He'll come over and we'll just give each other a cuddle, sit there, and you know, the value of life. You know, make no mistake that family, if you can, and if they're receptive, family is king, cask is king, and that balance between the two. God, not even drunk and I talk crap, but there you go. And I look at Bridbrewer and Taproom, and I see myself as something I'd love to do. You know, uh, I'd love, absolutely, not that I can afford it. I'd need to win the lottery first. We'd need to not worry about money, because I won't go into anything and be worried about what's coming home. If we're fine, you know, you win the lottery, you've got plenty to, and you're not worried. Then and then only would I open a tap. Would I like to do a tap room type thing, micro pub with a little brewery in the background, uh, doing the Raggy's beer reviews, doing live Raggy beer reviews with people in the pub, and getting the community involved, not just the community around you, but the online community. And oh my God, could you imagine it? Oh, I know, I know that I could win that way, and a little bit of braveness on my part in that respect. Out my comfort zone, but you know, comfort zones are there to be pushed, aren't they? We all need to prod that comfort zone now and again, because in all of us, there's a hidden star that can come out of that comfort zone and be something the world needs to see. You know, and in any profession, that is, there are people who are amazing that don't realise they're amazing or don't push themselves. You hear lots of people who say, "Oh, I'm the best," and it's funny because I'll give you an example. I was being bullied in a previous job, and it was awful. Uh, as a 48-year-old being bullied, it was a bit strange, and but it was brutal. Um, and I've absolutely totally forgot where I'm going. Shit. I got onto that subject and it's just totally wiped me out from where I was going. No, it'll come back someday soon. I'm not even drunk as well, which is really, really sad part. Sometimes the negativity just kills any positivity. Uh, no, no. This is where doing lives is great because somebody will say, "Yeah, he was on about this," and it's like, "Oh yeah," and woof, I'll jump back in. And but yeah, um, positivity is king. You know, try to be positive. Try to avoid negative, and try to, you know, push yourself forward. And you know, if you can do something, try and do something. You know, you only here once. If you fail, then yeah, take it on the chin. Okay, you want for me, and do something else. So on the nose, it was more coffee, chocolate, true porter. On the taste, the blueberry element kicked in. Coffee and chocolate was still there. Boozy, this was. I know it's only 4.6, but it absolutely thumped me. And there you go. That's just how beers are. Sometimes beers do thump you, and sometimes they don't. You know, depending on ABV. But yeah, another lovely beer from Bridbrewer and Taproom. If you're ever in Bridlington, get your backside over there. Some great breweries out there across the UK, and You know, before you, if you're a beer person, a fan of beer, who likes a good cask beer, keg beer, and wants to see beers, if you're holidaying in the UK, and that's all we're doing at the moment, we're not even thinking of going abroad because of the bloody rubbish across it all. But you know, search out local breweries, and you'll discover gems. Not every brewery is for you, but you'll discover gems. A good 4.4 out of 5 for me. Cheers, all.